Okay, welcome back. It's now 20 minutes to 9 p.m. Hoping you all are well wherever you are tuning in and streaming in on the various platforms, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook Live, on the TuneIn app as well. This is Friday Night Live with me. I'm your host, Sarfaraz. With me, ST, and I'll be with you for the next 20 minutes. It's the final segment. We're about to obviously conclude the show. And tonight, obviously, now we're carrying on with the sports topic. We're discussing the EPL fixtures. We've discussed with Len Moleko earlier on in the show the DSTV Premiership, which is kicking off obviously tomorrow. A cracker of a game. Obviously, we see Amakosi taking on Mamelodi Sundowns. Now we're going to talk about EPL, the English Premier League, and also the UEFA Champions League results of the week, as we saw a lot of action this week. And I'm joined by Maulana Suleiman Patel, who's out in Mpumalanga in Middelburg, inshallah, and he'll be joining us on the line. Maulana, assalamu alaikum. Good evening to you, and welcome once again to the program.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's a pleasure being on, and jazakallahu khairan for the opportunity once again.
Awesome, man. Great to have you with us. Hoping you had a good week. Alhamdulillah, it was a great Friday, another day, another chance. We make shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who's blessed us, this Mubarak day. Earlier on in the week, we saw in the Champions League, Liverpool struggle against Ajax, where Jurgen Klopp mentioned that, he blamed it on a hard pitch. We also saw Bayern show their dominance against Atletico Madrid. We also saw Man City coming back and taking the game against Porto 3-1. And surprisingly, Shakhtar Donetsk humbled Real Madrid with a 3-2 in that match there. Maulana, were you following some of the games, and which one really stood out for you?
Yes, I was following a few of the games, and I was watching the Ajax Liverpool one, and I was a bit disappointed with Ajax at some time, giving off that early goal, their own goal. But then we found, and then going through, Liverpool were not at their best as well. Like you had mentioned, maybe the pitch was a factor or whatever it might be. So I was a bit disappointed with that result. I thought Ajax had the upper hand playing at home as well. The other one I was following was Man City Porto as well. At one stage, I thought they're going to be upset here, but then later on, we saw Man City come to the party, and they were winners at the end. Then Bayern Atletico also, I thought Atletico will give them a bit of a go, but it was not so. Bayern did extremely well there. And
really?
Then the other game,
Coleman, what a player, man! He's really
yes,
impressed.
excellent.
Wow,
very impressed. Yes. And then Inter also did well with coming back there as well with Lukaku scoring the goals there as well.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the other one, Atalanta, also winning comfortably there 4-0. And then going back to Tuesday night's games, right? I'm going to start at the bottom with Barca winning easily there, Leipzig winning there also 2-0, and then Lazio, that was a surprise one. I thought Borussia. I thought they will do something there. Then the Chelsea-Sevilla game as well. I thought that one there, Sevilla maybe would have won it, but I think it was, I didn't follow that one, but they say Chelsea had some chances, but they were unable to put them away. And then the one that I really watched on Tuesday night, also thought, yes, that's why you say I saved the best one for last. PSG United.
Yes.
It was like a turnaround of last year where United, exactly won that penalty, and then they went through. And again, we find Rashford again coming to the party there as well. And United really played well. I was a bit surprised the way they came around it. Winning on Saturday against Newcastle, going down there as well. But they came up well, and PSG were some of the players there. I don't know what happened to them, but they were surprised, I think. And those guys that were ex-United players, Herrera and what's his guy's name, Angel Di Maria. They also didn't play that well, but there were some good saves by De Gea. And also, we find Mbappe played extremely well. I know that one move that he made, he pulled two defenders to the right, to the left, and he kicked it, and Di Maria pulled out that excellent save, and he saved United. I think he was man of the match as well on that game.
Yeah, De Gea really did show his muscle there as well. And obviously, the goalkeeper position is obviously being highly contested now. Obviously, you've got Dean Henderson, you've got Sergio Romero, you've got David De Gea, etc. Looking at Liverpool against Ajax, do you think Van Dijk's absence now is going to impact Liverpool moving forward? Maybe some of their players are a bit fatigued. We did see, there was a bit of a scare with Thiago. Thiago looked like he could have been injured. But obviously now with Jurgen van Dijk's absence, I mean, rather with Jurgen Klopp and he's, got now Van Dijk's absence now in this regard. And obviously he's got Fabinho to come in and, hold that back line. Do you think, he'll live up to that and will he be able to manage?
I think it's going to be a very, very difficult task for Fabinho to, come into the shoes of Van Dijk, because remember last year Van Dijk did extremely well, and we are hearing that he'll be out for about 4 to 6 months or so. So really, it's going to be difficult for Liverpool. I don't know who else is going to assist him there at the back or going to assist Liverpool at the back line. It's going to be very difficult.
Now,
and also,
when you say it's going to be a bit difficult, right? We know that he brings a sense of, a leadership quality to the back line and that sense of dominance and a motivation factor. You think they're going to lack that now? Or will maybe Henderson, pick up and step in and say, okay, look, you know what, guys, we need to push harder,
It can work out, but you know what? When Van Dijk is there, he's like a different kind of a person there at the back line, and he motivates the players, like you had mentioned rightly. And he gets upset when certain things are not right and whatever. So I think they're going to fall short there, whether it's in the Champions League as well as in the league. They're really going to fall short. And now one more thing also with regards to the goalkeeper, Adrian, that's there. Also a difficulty there, because Becker is going to be out for about, I think, 4 to 6 weeks or so. They got a bit of an issue and a bit of a problem. So I feel for them, but let's see what happens. Maybe Henderson or somebody else can, motivate them and make sure that they come back to winning and being their best like last season.
Now, I want to take the attention to Tuesday, where Barcelona played Ferencvaros, and they won 5-1. We see Roland Koeman, and obviously he's now come in praise of obviously a struggling Lionel Messi. Antoine Griezmann has been really vocal in social media against Ronald Koeman, who is a former Barcelona legend. We've seen obviously Luis Suarez leave the Nou Camp. So what did you make now of this Barcelona squad under the leadership now of Ronald Koeman?
It is a bit of a difficult one because there's a good player like Suarez left, and if there's a problem with Messi and few other players, it could be a difficult one for the team. They might start losing and they're not going to be playing their normal games and whatever, and then it's going to be a problem for the team. So I don't know what is Ronald Koeman's ideas with regards to the different players there, because we've seen it in the past where the new coach come in and then he puts them on the on the bench, and then you see the team struggling. So it can have a problem with the team and going forward. Although it was a easy walkover for them, winning 5-1, but we don't know what's going to happen in La Liga.
This could be a revival for Philippe Coutinho, perhaps under this leadership here.
It can be a possibility, because we have seen it in the past. The players maybe finding it difficult with a certain coach, and when a new coach comes on and we see something happening, like if you look at United, when they brought in Greenwood, there was some change. He was a young guy and he was doing well, and now we find, because he had some issues there with playing for England and whatever, we find Solskjaer putting him on the bench, and just to get him back to doing the right things off and on the pitch as well. So sometimes it can have a negative effect, sometimes it has a positive effect when you get a new coach coming in. So we just have to wait and see what happens.
Now, I want to shift the attention to the English Premier League. We saw last week, obviously, Everton and Liverpool clash. Obviously, we know that obviously the injury, which obviously hindered Liverpool's the Virgin van Dijk and Pickford was in the headlines. But I want to talk about Everton's form and them being on fire. And, do you think James Rodriguez is possibly the best signing of the summer transfer market so far?
Yes, absolutely. I think he is, and made a difference into the Everton team as well. And also, we're not going to discredit the coach, Ancelotti, excellent coach as well. So he brings in some new energy into the team. So what's that? I think Everton really doing well, even though they were down twice. They came up doing very well during the game. And
Yeah,
unfortunate for Liverpool, the VAR came against
the
them there
offside.
at the
Yeah.
end. Yes.
Well,
So
many
I was
Liverpool fans were really out and about, and on social media, they were, man, the memes were just going on. But do you think Everton could be contenders, as my producer thinks? I don't know, but you never know. We're not writing off anybody. Look, the title is open now. I mean, obviously, we know that nobody can walk away with the title right now. This season is totally different. But do you think Everton have got what it takes to, obviously, are they title contenders this season?
the way they're playing, I think most definitely they are title contenders. Let's see how far they go. If they can continue what they form, I think they are right there on the top. And remember, maybe the young viewers might not know Everton, but in the past, maybe 20, 25, 30 years ago, they were right there on the top with all their, good players and the good coaches that they had as well. So I think they just keep up what their performance and every week either winning or drawing, but not too many draws because that also can hinder your movement on the top. So I think they really will do well if they continue like that. And tomorrow they don't have a very easy game. If you look at Southampton, they also sometimes they can play well on the day. So we're not taking any away from the other teams, but we just have to take it week by week and game by game, and then we see how the players and how the team fares as the days and weeks go by.
Now, we know obviously at the moment tonight, kickoff will be in another hour or 45 minutes. Obviously, Aston Villa are going to take on Leeds United. I'm not sure if that game has already kicked off or not, but as I understand, it's 9 p.m. We know the big match, obviously, Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal, and Leicester City. But I want to talk about tomorrow, West Ham and Manchester City. Manchester City looked like they had a bit of teething problems. The acquisition of obviously Nathan Ake supposed to have brought a different dynamic to the squad. What do you make of Man City at the moment?
Yeah, I think they got a bit of a problem. I don't know what's the issue, but if you look at the coach, I think there's some issues there. If he lose maybe another 2 or 3 games in bad results, I think it will be the end of their coach Guardiola,
You
because
reckon it's going to be the end of Pep's reign so soon?
I think so, because City is supposed to be right there on the top, and they are not there on top. They okay on the first page of the log, right there. I think 8th or 9th. So they're supposed to be right on the top there, in the top 4. So either have that feeling, 2, 3 results go bad. I think it's going to be the end of Guardiola. And if you look at the performance of West Ham, excellent last week against Tottenham. I thought the game is over, 3-0, and then
In a space of
sometimes you bring
5 minutes.
yes,
5 minutes. We
and
saw 3
sometimes you
goals.
bring in the player, maybe it does a difference. And they on the other side, Tottenham brought in Gareth Bale, and what happened? It wasn't more goals; it was more goals, or 3 goals for West Ham, and
Being
they came on
conceded.
and they did really well. And if you looked at the third goal when he scored, Lanzini, excellent, what a
Mm.
goal! And the coach Moyes was ecstatic, like he won the World Cup or something of that nature. So yeah, it was excellent to watch the game.
Well, it was a great comeback, and it's going to be interesting to see them tomorrow against a very hungry Manchester City, as one would expect. Obviously, coming out of the Champions League week so far. Now, the big one: Manchester United taking on Chelsea. Chelsea have spent a lot in the transfer market; they've been very active. You think their signings are going to yield results? We're talking obviously Kai Havertz. We're talking Timo Werner. Hakim Ziyech, etc. They've brought in the experienced wall of PSG, who is Thiago Silva. What do you make of this? Chelsea's
So far, I think
acquisitions?
those guys, the signings were excellent, and they are really doing well as well. Werner and Havertz and all these guys. So tomorrow it will be a difficult task for United, although playing at home. In the past, we knew guys would find it very, very difficult coming to the theatre of dreams. But these days, even the smaller teams are winning United there. So I'm not going to say anything with regards to that game. But I think if I look at it, I'm a United fan. But
Mhm.
don't take anything away from Chelsea. They might just come on top of everything and just create an upset tomorrow. And we have seen, Chelsea doing really well with these top signings. Sometimes the signings do well immediately, and sometimes it takes a while for the signings to do something. But at the moment at Chelsea, they're doing really well. And I don't know with regard to the goalkeeper. Kepa is there, but I think the coach doesn't have so much of confidence in him. And then they got the other guy, Mandy, and then they brought out Peter Cech from out of retirement. So I don't know who's going to start tomorrow, whether it's going to be Peter Cech or is it going to be Kepa.
Well, it was surprising to see Peter Cech as a non-contract player. Obviously, we know he's part of the sporting director role, and he's been quite pivotal in bringing a number of the acquisitions to the squad. Thiago Silva, does he play this weekend? I mean, he had a blunder in the previous games. He was a wall at PSG, bringing a wealth of experience, bringing that sense of maturity to this relatively younger Chelsea team which they're building. What do you make of them in the
I
back
think
line?
sometimes you get your first game, maybe you cause it and you make a mess. But maybe what the experience, they might play him and put him on tomorrow from the start because you need the experience. Because remember, a person got maybe 15, 20 years of experience. You can't buy those 15 years of experience. So he might be affected tomorrow. Maybe he does turn out to be the best player for Chelsea. And sometimes soccer is like that. Football is like that, where one day you have a very good game, and the next game you have a terrible game. So maybe they start him, and he might just prove to be the best player on Chelsea's side, or maybe even on the pitch. Who knows? We'll have to
Well,
wait and see.
it could either be a thunder or it could be a blunder. It's one of the two,
Yes.
as they say. Looking at Monday's game, Tottenham Burnley. I mean, Jose Mourinho goes up against Sean Dyche's Burnley. That's on Monday. Tottenham have had a relatively good run. Apart from the 3 goals conceded last week against a fantastic West Ham attack. Burnley, on the other hand, will be going pressing a bit higher, one would presume, and imagine them obviously pushing higher up the field against the counter attacks, obviously, of Tottenham. Do you think Jose will play a bit more defensive, or will he go for a bit more aggression as we saw in the Champions League games?
It just depends. But I think normally Jose is normally a defensive, but he might just change the tactic against Burnley and being attacking. And I just feel that Spurs will win this game on Monday night because Burnley also need to do some. They need to sort out the team as well. They're not doing too well as well. So I just got the feeling that Spurs will just win this one. Although playing away from home, it's a bit difficult. But these days, there's so very few spectators at the grounds. So I just feel that Jose might just be attacking, and he might win the game as well.
I mean, we saw last night Tottenham in the Europa League against LASK, Lucas Moura and Heung-min Son, obviously getting on the score sheet there, and apart from an own goal by Andre Andrade, which obviously helped Tottenham win. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see them on Monday night. Looking at Arsenal and Leicester City, that's on Sunday, Maulana. And in conclusion, as we wrap the segment, Mesut Ozil came out on social media earlier in the week, and he showed his disappointment and disheartedness, towards the club, as he pledged loyalty to the club in 2018, and he felt, as one read his post, very chilling words, I must say. And he expressed how he felt. And clearly he says, look, he's going to stand up for humanity, for justice, and he'll use his voice. Many comments I was reading, people obviously know his pedigree and his caliber. What do you make now of the situation Mikel Arteta is facing now? He's got a World Cup winner in Mesut Ozil in his dressing room, who hasn't been chosen for the season thus far, and he's not on a 25-man squad. I mean, his situation at Arsenal is obviously a talking point this week, obviously being left out.
Yes, most definitely. And then what being Ozil being exed, it could be a bit of a problem with other players. Maybe they want him to be there, but the coach don't want him to be there. So that can also affect the way they play against Leicester. And
Yeah.
remember, Leicester played not too bad against Aston Villa, but it was a 90th or third or 94th minute goal by Barkley, which earned Aston Villa a win over Leicester. But it can create a problem there when the player is ex of that caliber and that pedigree of Mesut Ozil. So I just hope. I don't know if there's a rethink with regards to it, that Arteta maybe can bring him back onto the 25-man squad or not. I'm not too sure. But that can be a bit of a problem with the players. And when the players are upset, then you can see the results also, not going well for the team as well. So we just hope that we can see Ozil playing for Arsenal again. But the way it looks like it, I don't think so. He'll have to move on. And teams in England or in Germany or wherever it might be might just snap him away and take him away from Arsenal.
Well, he is pedigree, that is definite. But yeah, that brings us up to 9 p.m. on the dot. Jazakallah Maulana for your input. Hoping the matches and the games are going to be as interesting as our chat was. And inshallah, looking forward to a good week of football, man. There's a lot happening next week. Obviously, Champions League carries on. Europa League continues. It's a jam-packed week, man, for football fans around the country and around the globe as well. Maulana, have an awesome evening and a weekend ahead. Until next week, we'll catch up, inshallah. Take care. Jazakallah for your time.
Jazakallah khairan, and you too have an awesome weekend and an awesome week ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
It is Maulana Suleiman Patel. And Salman, we see you. You'll never walk alone. We acknowledge you, my man. Salman Singh there. Jazakallah khair for your comments there. Muhammad Umar Yusuf, mashallah. Jazakallah khair. We acknowledge you as well. So that brings us up to 9 p.m. Wow, where the time has gone by so fast and having fun. It's been great hosting you guys. Thanks for all of your comments and your feedback and everything of that sort. Have an awesome week, inshallah. Take care, and I'll be back next week, same time, same place. From me and the rest of the team, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.